Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Crossroads of Sports. Tonight, we're going to take a look back at some of the best investigations that I did in 2023. Stay tuned. And as I said, the best of 2023. So, 2023 was the last year I actually did any type of investigations. After that, I took some time off and time away from doing paranormal. So, what we're going to do is take a look back at some of the best that I have from 2023, and we're going to talk about that a little bit too. Okay, so we're going to start with this one here.
Not really sure. Ooh, I feel. Oh, somebody been making some kind of a seance thing or something here. Yeah, had a weird vibe when I got over this area.
And honestly, I did. It was the weirdest thing because it was at the bottom of Riverside Cemetery, just a little area that's just down below, kind of hidden in a way. And but there are graves down there, not a lot, but there's a creek that runs near it, and all these different things as well. So this is the first time I ever came across this. I've filmed on there several times before, but this is the first time I've ever come across this little whatever it is exactly, little known thing, a ritual of some kind. But I was feeling it as soon as I got out of the car and started heading up that direction. It was weird,
Really sure. I mean, it's got like, how most candles have Jesus and stuff on it. That has Holy Death on it.
weird.
Grief. Someone doing evil rituals down here. Maybe we'll get a name, get an idea of who we're speaking with. Um,
And this now is at Newton Academy Cemetery. It's a Civil War cemetery in downtown Asheville. So this is the place. If you've ever seen our video before, where a fidget spinner moved for the very first time. Matter of fact, the only time the fidget spinner ever moved. That fidget spinner was a Batman fidget spinner. I no longer have that. It's now with What the Paranormal. But anyway, Amy won it in a contest we did, and so I no longer have that. But we have a video of it, and it's sitting on a bench, and it just makes a small little turn. It got wild. But this is a different video though.
well, what kind of help they need? Okay, so it's gone back down again. So there's been every time I come here, they're doing different hotspot areas, like this tree here, this tree, and this area over here. But it never stays consistently the same every single time. So, and like I say, sometimes you go to cemeteries and get one or two little words and nothing else, or nothing at all. And then sometimes you get a ton of stuff. So it just depends on what the spirits want to do. Not every place is haunted, and not every haunted place is going to give you a full bunch of activity.
And I point that out basically because it doesn't. I mean, not every place is matter of fact demon possessed or anything either. So sometimes you go to places and it's haunted, but you may get very little to nothing that happens. You go the next time, maybe a week or a month later, and you get all kinds of things come through. It just depends. So not all investigations, no matter how many times you go back to a place, is going to get you the exact same results every single time. And so that's a good thing for me to point out then.
So always keep that in mind, especially if you're new to paranormal. Don't go in expecting something to happen every single time you go somewhere. Matter of fact,
Right.
probably the best thing to do is go in not expecting things, and then when you do catch something, number six
This
or
is kind of
G or
weird.
something, or nine maybe, empire.
Yeah, something spoke
What's on
there.
these rocks?
Something spoke
Or
there.
nine maybe, empire.
You can hear it.
Number six or G or something, or nine maybe, empire.
Okay. So honestly, I don't know what it is exactly that speaks into that speaker. I don't know what I caught. But right before I said Empire, you can hear something. I'll play it again. I'm talking about the sixes and the nines on that or whatever. And so listen, you can hear something come through that I don't know what it is.
Not expecting things, and then when you do catch something, number six or G or something, or nine maybe, sometime.
Okay, so first of all, the Blue Hand Ghost app that I'm using there, it doesn't speak. It doesn't speak the words or anything. So basically, all it does, it makes noises and lets you know that something's coming through. When it starts making like a ticking, 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 and it gets crazy. Then you can look down, you hear shh, and you hear that kind of sound. You know the word has changed or there are new words popped up. I don't know what that was. It kinda sounds like water, maybe. I don't know 100%. Comment with what you think that is, because I have no idea what that is. I'll play it one more time, but I really don't know what that is.
Dude's going not expecting things, and then when you do catch something, number six or G or something, or nine maybe, sometime.
And and
What's
I
on these
really
rocks?
and I really don't know, but it kinda sounds like water or something like that, but, it's not unusual for me to pick up a disembodied voice, but, that one I couldn't really make out. There's been times I have, but, that was pretty wild.
Is that a number or a letter? Is it G or is that a nine or?
And also, I was there by myself, so there was nobody there but me. Um, so I'm kind of at the time because I don't hear this until I go back to edit. But I'm just fixated on this rocks with the 9 6 or whatever that's supposed to be on there, and I didn't hear it. Now sometimes I can hear disembodied voices, not all the time, but there has been times I've caught it in the camera, and it's pretty weird.
Or a six, and then there's that.
That's just a notification that popped up on my phone. Now, before I go too far, this is at the river. I do several investigations down the river from time to time, get different things to come through. I'm using, you can see this behind my hand. It's like it's like an EMF detector, but with digits, with numbers that you can see. And watch what happens here. And before we go further, that what I'm using in my hand is an app. I forget the name right off, but it's a yes and no is what it'll little blue light there will go up to yes or down to no. Sometimes I never had a lot of success with that, but I used it a few times. And there's cars that goes back and forth too, and you can see it's kind of going to yes and no. It's this little blue light you can see on the screen possibly,
Sure. Remember, yes or no. That's all you got to say, is yes or no.
and it'll go up to yes or no. I never, like I say, had a lot of success with this because I don't know. I don't know if I was using it correctly or not, but but anyway, it would just kind of hover back and forth, back and forth. So I don't know if I just didn't understand it or understand how to give the spirits the ability to understand how they could do it. I don't know. But the EMF behind my hand is what's a little more interesting.
Did someone murder you? Oh,
There you go.
when I said that, the numbers jumped. Look, 3.4, 3.5, 2.6.
So something had to be there near it to make that go up. And I had been sitting there for a bit anyway, nothing going on, triple zeros. And then it seemed like the spirit got closer. And when it did, and I asked that question, it went up. I'll go back and do it one more time, just a little bit here. And let's see, about right here, I guess.
Did someone murder you? Oh,
You went up higher.
when I said that, the numbers jumped. Look, 3.4, 3.5, 2.6, 2.2.
Okay, so basically, what little bit I've used this thing, if something's around it, a magnetic field can make that go up, kind of like the K2 that lights up, similar to that, just in digits. And it's like the spirit came closer. And when I asked that question, it shot it up, I guess, to signify yes, because maybe it didn't understand what to do with that app I was using. Um, but either way, because I gave it prompts beforehand, I don't remember if I had it on the video or not, but I did give the prompts beforehand that it could touch it or get near it and it'll make it light up and go up, or the numbers go up, and so I can know that they're there. I always prompt the spirits with whatever I'm using, so that way they know what to do with it, whether they need to touch something or get near it or whatever, or speak into something to where I can hear them. So I'm always prompting the spirits to do something like that.
Oh man, that thing's lit up again over here. Wow. All of a sudden, it's been sitting at zero. Now we got this when we talk. Okay, who murdered you? Now look, it's back down to a.
It's like they didn't. It's kind of like they didn't want to speak about it or talk about it, but they did confirm. Excuse me, that something did happen to them, that they were murdered. But that's as far as it went.
Thanksgiving. It's been one of the most interesting investigations I've ever done.
And this, by the way, is Riverside Cemetery. Like at the first part of the video, where we was down at the very bottom where that little gnome ritual thing was. This is on the upper side of the Riverside Cemetery. It is an absolutely huge cemetery.
And just different words coming through. Charles, got a name. I'll be darned.
This will freak you out. 'Cause it did me for sure.
There's a Charles right there. Oh God.
So I'm not really sure what these other words are meaning. Comes unless like residual words, but I did get the name Charles, and I was standing within like 2 feet of a headstone with a guy named Charles on there. That's when it kind of spooks you a little bit, because even though there's been times I've gotten names and can never figure out who it is. I'll look at headstones and things like that and never see. But like there, I was like maybe 2 feet away from that headstone, and there it was. So the spirit Charles came through, let me know who I was talking to. The other words I'm thinking are possibly like worldwide. I think would have to be something residual that it picked up, but Charles, that was pretty cool.
Direction. So he's buried just like about on my finger on the other side here. So with the flashlight up here to where you can see a little better. I don't know if he understood. K2 might have went off and I might have missed it, but some spirits don't understand the K2. Oh, thank you. Can you turn that back off? You know how to do that? Just take your hand off of it. Got find. Still on.
So sometimes I found with spirits with these flashlights, it's kind of interesting. Some can do and understand to turn it on, turn it off when you command them to do it or ask them to do it on command. But some don't. Some, like, I think, just seem to hover in that area with the flashlight for a bit, and then it goes off if they decide to walk away. Sometimes I've had to just take it and turn it off myself, because I'm like, I have to hold it and it starts to turn off as I get it. So the energy, some don't understand that they can just get away from it.
You're a lot keeping it lit up so you'll know. So I know you're there still.
And that could be a possibility too.
Things going crazy. Still going crazy.
And again, that Ghost tool app that I use is one of my favorite ones to use. There's times, like I say, I get words I don't understand, but but it's good. And you'll hear that ticking noise. It is a little annoying. You can turn it down if you like, but you got to keep an eye on it to make sure that the next word you don't miss. But you can always go back and look and see if you have missed words. There's times I've missed words. Like sometimes words that come through and pop through real quick, like one right after the other, real fast within seconds. So there's times I've missed it, but um, anyway, it's a good tool to use. So it's Ghost Tool app, and it's really cool.
And this one has Daughters of the American Revolution cup. Oh,
Yep.
wow. Yeah, I see a cup there.
Now I'm not 100% sure why it prompted me to say a cups there. I don't know if I don't really don't know. Going back and thinking about, it, did they wanted me to move it away from their headstone? Was it something they like, share a drink with me? I'm not 100% sure, but when it prompt cup and I happened to look around and there was that sitting there, it's like a mason jar, is basically what it is, and it's got some water in it. So, but it it let me know it was there one way or the other.
That sounded wicked there a second ago.
Now here I'm using the Ghost Tube box app. I got to remember my app sometimes, so you can hear the words coming through there. Sometimes you can't make them out, but it is a an app to where you can hear the words.
Help.
It's like
We
a
need to.
train horn too. It's weird.
See? Who am I looking for? Say Harriet?
Okay, so when I get names now that I'm able to in cemeteries, what I do is I have a cemetery app. And basically, you can go to that app, you can go to the cemetery that you're in, and you can look up the names of people. Sometimes you find it, sometimes you don't. But it's helpful. It's a little bit linked in with Ancestry too, or it is actually linked in with Ancestry. So we're able to take that information to Ancestry too as we need it. So as an investigator, that's what we kind of do, kind of investigate things, kind of see what we can come up with and things like that.
So like a male's voice said Harriet. I'm looking. You're looking for Harriet? Is that who you're looking for? No idea what that was. Okay, so basically what I did, I came across a Harriet, and apparently she's buried in this area here.
Oh, and by the way, yeah, I did forget to mention too. On that app, a lot of times you can find their headstones. So it's kind of trying to figure out where that headstone's at. Sometimes you can see pictures in the background, like trees or other headstones, and kind of search really to find them. That's how I did that. I went and I found a Harriet. I found her tombstone, and then what the background behind it looked like. And sometimes you can kind of pinpoint exactly where they're at. Sometimes you really have to search.
here, and I don't know how good you can see it, but we heard Harriet earlier come through. It's right there. So you got John and then Harriet, his wife, below him.
I should have moved that away to where you see
So
it better, but that was
what
Harriet.
we can do is we can.
This one
Okay,
is interesting.
I got this set right. Yeah, I think we can hear it.
All right, the backstory of GD Ingle, real quickly. Me and Marnie was in this what I call the mystery cemetery. It's on top of a hill. I can't remember the name of the cemetery. It took us a while to even figure out what it was. We were driving down the road one day. Marnie looks up on a hill on the road we're on, and notices some headstones. It's kind of a hidden place, in a way. So we go up here and we did a couple investigations before, but on this occasion, not in this particular video, but on this one occasion, we go back. I get the name Garrett, and anyway, it ends up being that GD Ingle is him. And it takes, you would have to go back and look at our live streams. But anyway, it's a long story to get to this. But I didn't know who I was talking to, but it seemed like the father of this young man that died accidentally shooting himself. The kid, I think, was hunting or whatever, and he ended up accidentally shooting himself. I think maybe cleaning the gun. But it seems like I have made contact with the father there a couple of times.
Pretty good now. He's very young, 1929, 1940. Is this the son you were talking about? I got the name Garrett. Was this Garrett? Yeah. Yeah, I said yeah. Robert. Whoa. Okay.
Okay, so we're going on to another cemetery next in just a second. But going back to GD real quick, it is kind of a long story, but to follow is kind of interesting. So we go up there. I get the name Garrett. Marnie finds, my wife finds GD Ingle on a headstone. Looking at the cemetery app, that's all it showed was GD Ingle. My mom took that and went through Ancestry and found out the only one place that she could find that headstone match was a Garrett. And so that's how we came across the fact that it was Gary. It took some things, uh, some researching to do, but we did figure out it was Garrett as a young kid. And it seems like I said, I've made contact with the father there more than once. Maybe grieving over his son's death, maybe blaming him. I think he was more or less blaming himself and feeling like he couldn't cross over into heaven. I don't know that I ever helped him do that. I tried to convince him it was okay to go, but that story is interesting. If you've never heard it, we got it on our live streams. We talk a lot about it. So I will definitely be going back up there to see if I can make contact with the father and see if he's still there or if he's gone on possibly. Okay, so this next one you're about to see here is another young person at Riverside Cemetery that I wasn't trying to investigate. I was up there trying to investigate and try to make communication with Abraham Lincoln's bodyguard that's buried there. I was drawn to this headstone where this kid is, and then this happens.
Okay, now it's foggy there for a second. Wow, it's lighting up. Thank you. Can you make that little ball light up or move? If so, I'll let you keep it. Oh, that's so cool. Yes, you can keep it.
Okay, so beforehand, I take, and then you see the K2, like, can you light it up? It lights up like, yeah, I can do it. And he touches it, and the ball lights up. Okay, or puts his energy into it, I should say. The ball lights up. And so I leave the cat ball there for probably a good week. I go back and I take a toy car and switch it out. I felt like the cat ball would just die out anyway. So I felt like leaving a little car there would be good. Now, I don't know if it's still there or not. It's been a while since, I mean, it's been a few, since 2023. So a couple years since I've been there. I don't know if the car's still there or not. When I go back and able to, that excuse me, that cemetery got really destroyed during Hurricane Helene with trees coming down. So I don't know when I'm going to be able to get back in there exactly, but when I do, I'll go back to that headstone and I will see if that card's there. If it's not, I'll definitely leave them something else.
Can you do it again? Okay, two lit up that time. Can you make that ball light up again? K2's lighting up. This was about the area where we got battery earlier. So I guess they were trying to drain my battery. Maybe that's what they meant. I don't know. But I'm back to the top up here.
And this is a totally different cemetery, by the way. It's not Riverside any longer. So that last one was Riverside. This is a different one.
This is where I started. Was right through here. Sally. Okay, let me look and see if I can find a Sally. So I found a Sally, and I couldn't get my cemetery app to come up.
Interesting note. Look at the last name. Now, I don't know if there's any relation between G.D. Ingle and this Ingle here, spelled the exact same way, but it's just interesting. Two cemeteries miles apart with the same last name. Um, Go figure.
To see if I could get a bio. Unfortunately, mean. I'm not mean. I hope you don't mean me. Or maybe you, I mean this is Sally or what? I don't know. Sally, can you tell me how you died? Because I was just right here in this area when I got Sally. Right here is her name.
And again, it was one of those things where I wasn't far away like it was with Charles. I wasn't far away from this Sally person either, just a few, probably about 5 or 10, not even 10 feet away, probably about 5 feet away.
Um, let's see if we can get her to touch the K2 and light it up. Can you light that box? Oh, you can. Thank you.
It lit up pretty quickly.
How close are you to me? Yes, pretty close. Um, can you explain to me how you died, please? I'm going to change batteries, guys. It is starting to drain. Were you the one that was said battery earlier and was trying to drain it? If so, will you light that box up? Whoa!
That was a pretty good hit on the K2. That was a strong hit and a good indication that this person was trying to drain my battery, possibly. Um, some spirits can understand that they can use the energy from our equipment and give themselves energy from it. So, yeah, it hit pretty good. It's a pretty good light up on that.
Okay. Hang on, guys. I got to change it. You're a very young guy, about 33 years old, who passed away.
Okay, so this next one is back at Newton Academy. This is a Civil War cemetery we were at the beginning of the video. And so this is a guy named Gudger, Joseph, I think Joseph Gudger, and he owned a hotel in Asheville at one time. So what I do is I take the REM pod after I can feel like he can do it and understand how to use it. I take it, sit it down, and then I ask him if these guests can stay at his hotel. Watch what happens.
Whoa. Thank you for telling me you're here.
And so the REM pod is the one down at the bottom on the left hand side of the screen. Of course, we know about the K2 meter, but the REM pod is the one that lights up and makes noises. That helps me understand if a spirit's there and if they can communicate.
That's pretty wild. Thank you. Um, and he owned a hotel here. And we're going to ask Mr. Gudger, since he seems to be here with us, if it's okay for these people to stay. Now, I got a list of people who stayed at his hotel back in the 1800s. This has been back in, I'm not exactly sure the date exactly, but we'll ask him if it's okay for some of these.
So I got this from a newspaper. Back in the day, the newspaper would print who was staying at a hotel, who was coming in from town. They would print all kinds of things like somebody's having a bake sale or whatever. People put a lot of different things in the newspapers back day, but thank God they did because this gave me the ability to take guests from it, actual guests from that hotel back in the 1800s and I get to ask him, "Are these can these people stay at your hotel?" If you ever do an investigation with somebody like this in this situation, do whatever you can to try to prompt them with things they may be familiar with. And so that's what I did here.
People to stay here. Can you light these boxes up like you just did? I want to ask you if it's okay for certain people to stay. They're wanting to stay at the hotel, okay? Um, J.M. Carver. Is J.M. Carver okay to stay? Okay. Um, let's see. W.M. Goldsmith. Can he stay? Oh, it lit up. Okay. Thank you.
So at this point, it's kind of like the K2 more so than REM pod. Sometimes spirits don't like sounds too, or it kind of maybe annoys them. But the K2 is also a good tool to use. That doesn't make noise and it lights up. And if they're comfortable with that, let them use it, whichever they want to use.
We also have a. Let's see here. J. Let's see. Did I say J? I don't know if I did or not. Let's go on down the list a little bit. Um, W.R. Bird. Is W.R. Bird okay to stay? Lit up. Oh, lit up good. Thank you. Um, T. Roberts. Is T. Roberts okay to stay? He's want to make reservations. Can he stay with us here at the hotel? Okay, yeah, I think it lit up there. Okay. Also, Colonel D. Reynolds. Is he okay to stay? Okay. Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Um, how about Sam Davison? Can Sam Davison stay with us at the hotel this weekend? Today's Friday. He wants to stay till Sunday. Is that okay? Oh, lit up big time. All right. And also, let's see, John Carpenter would like to stay. This is with the weekend as well, Friday through Sunday. Is that okay? Lit up again. Oh wow, this is cool. Oh wow. Okay.
Okay, again, it's one of those things where it's just really cool. I had this idea to see if I could get that. I've seen people kind of do things like this in the past, and from apparently this guy's pretty friendly, this Gudger fella, and so I guess he was just willing to say, yeah, this person can stay, that person can stay. He was using both mechanisms, the K2 REM pod, to give us that. So obviously it works. So if you're ever in that situation, maybe a hotel owner or a restaurant owner or whatever, and you can use these type of prompts, see what happens. Use those things to light them up, and to see if they can do that. And you probably will get like some good responses as long as the spirits are very willing.
Oh, we're getting something again. Trap. Hmm. Just don't understand all this stuff coming through. But it's really active over in this area. Something. I think something was over there. I'm not sure. Are you moving around near that tree? Seek.
So at this point, something moved over in that area, a shadow type thing or whatever. But it, um, when I got Seek, Trap, Seek, I don't know how much, but Seek to me felt like, are we playing hide and seek or something? Possibly could have been what it was, but it's rare that I catch anything like a shadow figure. Occasionally I will. Sometimes I can catch a full body apparition, but it's extremely rare for me to do so. So that did throw me off guard a little bit when that moved by. But I'm not like extremely shaken by stuff like that because I know it can happen, but it's just so rare for it to happen to me that Yeah, yeah, it's pretty wild.
Where are you at? Trap seek, like hide and seek or something. Something was over in this area. I don't know if anything got caught on camera or not, but music box
It
here. I'm
didn't.
giving a shot. See if.
Okay, so we're back at GD Ingles, and this is where I'm talking to Garrett's father. And this is another app that gives you responses that they can touch it and it lights up and makes a musical instrument go off. And it's another way for spirits just to communicate with you and to uh, give you a yes or no or whatever. But it's a pretty cool little tool. Check this out.
Anything happens, spirits, if you touch that, it will light up and make a noise. It's fine. It will not hurt you. Garrett, if you're with me, can you do that to let me know you're here? Just tap that box right there, and let's let me hear that music. I'll know you're right there with me. Okay? Can you do that? Also have the Ghost Tool app going as well. One of the last times I did an investigation with this music box, you could see it light up. It said movement. Something had touched it. So this thing is legit. It does work. Keep the light source off though, because I have found that the sun, clouds, and all that, going back and forth, can interrupt that. But you can leave your temperature, pressure, humidity, and all that stuff. You can see all these things on here. Leave everything else on, but just turn the light off.
And the reason for it is because the sunshine, the cloud movements, it picks all that up. So if you leave that off, it's fine. Everything else leave on, you're fine. But the light source, turn it off, and it'll work. I've tried it even in the shed and it being dark in there, and that's fine. But if you're outside, even in where the moon might be bright or something, it could still pick that up with the moon and the clouds movement and stuff like that. So always turn that off, but everything else you're good to go.
And if you're Garrett's father, you light that, make that music go off. If that's you I talked to last time. Whoa. Okay, thank.
Okay, so there we go. Back to me. So let me get that thing off. Sweat on that headset. Okay, so real quickly before I end the video, just kind of going through some of the things that we have dealt with in the past with the spirits, some things to hopefully help you out with when you're doing investigations and things like that. But I tell you guys, it's really cool, these things you can use, and there's all kinds of tools you can use if you want to do investigations. So if you're really wanting to do paranormal investigations like we do, not really just explore and things like that, but you want to get down and see if you can make communications with spirits. There's all kinds of tools you can use, a cat ball, you can use K2, REM pods, whatever, and the ghost tool and all that stuff. Those things help out a lot. So, but you have to be patient. You have to take your time and just wait and see what happens. And I also use dowsing rod too, by the way. But but you had to be patient. You have to wait and see if anything's going to happen, because you're never guaranteed, no matter how many times you go to a place that's haunted, to get something. So you just be patient, kind, wait, and relax. See what happens, and you never know. You might get some results like we got. Until next time, God bless. See you soon.